So welcome to It's Never Just a Card. I have to sort of tell a little story. I came up with that hashtag quite by accident because I was talking to somebody and said, there's always a story behind cards. It's never just a card came out. And I thought, oh, I kind of like the sounds of that, but it's very true. For example, let me just share my screen. And for example, I had a friend, his sister died, and I sent a sympathy card. And I, of course, made a heartfelt card. It was kind of the epitome of a heartfelt card. I took a stained glass window from my church, put that on the front. There was a picture of her in the obituary, and as a young person, as an adult, she was Italian, so I wrote "Rest in Peace" in Italian. Put a picture of a rose, and then on the back, instead of my branding, just a heart, a glass heart. And the inside message is just, "I'm sorry to hear your sister and Zia Pina's death. Celebrate a life well lived and all your good memories. Remembering you and her in my thoughts and prayers, fondly, Chip." So I saw my friend, and he thanked me for the card, of course, and his father had traveled back from Italy for the funeral. And he said, my father asked if he could take the card back with him to Italy so he could put it on his refrigerator. And he looked at me and he said, "Chip, that man doesn't keep anything. So for him, that's really big, and thank you." And I thought, boy, it just reminds you that you're really touching people's lives on an emotional level. So this to me is the epitome of a heartfelt card that has come up recently. The reason I chose to talk about heartfelt cards tonight is that there's basically three different groupings, if you will, types of cards that you can send. You can send a heartfelt card, you can send a group send, and you can send a scheduled card. And they correspond with the different subscription levels. For example, the $17 level, I'm going to talk about this at the end as well, is really what I think of as a personal account. It's for people that have grandchildren or nieces and nephews who want to send a few cards a month. The premium level for $97 a month, you get the chance to send unlimited heartfelt single send cards, and that includes postage. So if you send 100 cards in a month, that's $97, and $55 of that is going to be for postage. So it's really costing you $45. And it even gets better than that, because in that $97, you're going to save an additional $17.50, because you get 10 loyalty rewards. And those loyalty rewards translate into group sends. And a group send is $1.75 each. So you can take $17.50 off of the 97, so that brings it down to $79.50. If you subtract $55, you're really sending that 100 cards for $24.50, which is a pretty good deal. So that's why tonight we're going to talk about what a heartfelt card is and what that actually means. When you go into the system, you get the choice of sending a card. And I should have mentioned up front, if you have any questions, by all means break in, or either in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask. But if I send a card, I have to laugh, because sometimes people ask me, where are the heartfelt cards? Well, heartfelt card can be any kind of a card. Those of you that have worked with either the new system or the old system, and tonight we're going to be looking at the new system, and I say new in quotes because it came out last April, so it's almost 10 months old. So it's not exactly new anymore. You have access to a card catalog, and there's probably about 20,000 cards in the catalog. I make use of this for get well cards. There's a chocolate card that I particularly like. So if I search the word chocolate, and here's the card. A large dose of chocolate will cure just about anything. And then I can put whatever message inside. I like this because, except for diabetes, this kind of covers any illness. And I can send brownies to the person who's sick. So that's, if I do one card, even though I'm choosing it from the catalog, and I send it with a particular person in mind with a heartfelt message that I type in, I don't cut and paste, that's considered a heartfelt card, even though it's coming from the catalog. Tonight, I'm going to look at St. Patrick's Day. Valentine's Day is almost here, so it's a little bit too late to do a Valentine's card. But I can choose any of these cards from the catalog, and I'm going to choose this one. It has a heart full of shamrocks. May your pockets be heavy and your heart be light. That's a kind of nice card. I can go in, I can customize the card. I get a choice. I can send it as a flat card, which is one piece of paper in an envelope. I can do a 2-panel card, a 3-panel card, a really big card for an extra 8 by 10 for an extra $1.50, or a postcard. I have choices between standard paper, which is kind of a glossy, and satin or pearl. Satin or pearl are both matte. I can't exactly tell you the difference. What I'm planning on doing is send myself the same card in all 3 finishes so I can compare. I tend to choose pearl if I choose those 2, and you know, it's a nice alternative, but that's 50 cents extra. So I'm just going to go with the 2-panel card. And I can go in and I can put whatever message says, may good luck pursue you each morning and night. Now, if I wanted to personalize this for real estate or for my clients, I could add either a picture from the catalog. It could be something that I've uploaded already. You know, maybe just something as simple as Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I can just make that a little bit bigger. I can zoom in and zoom out and play around with that. Or I could take that out of there and I could say, go back to layouts and go back to text and type in Happy St. Patrick's Day, whatever I wanted to do, something like that. But obviously that picture probably would look a little bit nicer. And I'm going to go back to that one. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And then on this side, actually, no, this side doesn't let me put my name. Now, I have a couple of choices. For this one, I'm not going to go ahead and send it. I can change the layout to something like this. And just zoom in a bit like that. Zoom out a little bit. And then I can just say, all the best. Or I could say, it was a lucky day when I met you. Chip. Something like that. I can change the font to a font that I like. One that I use a lot is Envelope Hand. Another one that I like is called Cranky, which is kind of a funny name. And what I sometimes do is I can have my name in a script font, a signature font, and I sometimes change the color of my name as well, so it looks more like it's been signed. Another option that I have, and I probably wouldn't do it on this particular card, I can go over to this side, and if I click here where it says it's sort of blank with text, it will delete their text altogether, and I can put my own text. An example of that was that chocolate card. I didn't show you what it said inside, but inside it said, a large dose of chocolate will cure just about anything. On the front, inside it says, now suck it up and get better. Now, some people would find that humor fine. I have some older clients and older friends, you know, parents, father, mother of friends that I wouldn't feel comfortable. So I could get rid of their message and just put my own message. And then we can go on and hit next. Now it's going to pick up, let me just go back. I hit next a little bit too fast, so I'm going to go back and edit. It's going to show me the back that it's using, and this back is not the one that I really want to use. For some reason it's messed up the alignment. I should check that out. But if I go to layouts, I can look at other backs that I have, and I just created a new one earlier today. Wait till they load. This is wine. Maybe if it was green beer, it would be okay for St. Patrick's Day. But since St. Patrick's Day is pretty close to spring, can't find it. I created a new back today. I should be here. Okay, I can't find it, so I'm just going to create a new one. Go with it all, and then this is actually the back that I wanted. I'm going to save that as a layout. It has flowers because St. Patrick's Day is close to spring. Has my contact information on the back as well. I'm going to update this. And I have some choices. It says the paper is standard. If I want to, I can switch it to satin or pearl. And it says it's scheduled to send immediately. Heartfelt cards, by definition, are sent immediately, or they're going to be printed, the next print run, which for us tonight would be about 2 a.m. Mountain Time. And it's going to be 99 cents. Now that price might change. If I told you that you were going to have unlimited free handwritten cards or heartfelt cards, it's going to say $1.75 for most people. You can ignore that because it's going to change when you get to the checkout screen. So we're going to leave that there. If I wanted to add a gift like brownies or cookies, obviously they're not free. You are going to pay. But for the $97 account, you get 30% discount on any of the gifts. So I can add brownies if I wanted to this particular order, or I can just get rid of the gift altogether and just go with a card, which I'm going to do. I'm going to add a recipient, and I'm going to type in Leslie. And there you are there, and say done. So now that it's ready to send, there's a heartfelt card. So it's a free card and free shipping. So 100% free. And you can send as many of these in a month as you want. If you send 100 of them, you are, I think the break-even point is somewhere between 25 and 30. So I'm going to hit send, and we're off to the races. So that's a catalog card. They also have 2 other types of cards. So let me get this out of the way. There are, go back to here. There is a photo drop card, and photo drop card, where the catalog cards, you cannot change the front of the card. Photo drop cards, you're meant to change the front of the card. So there's always going to be a picture on the front, and it's expecting you. So if you have a soldier in your family that you want to recognize, this would be a nice card. Your courage inspires me, and you can put that soldier's picture instead of this person. So I'm going to search and see whether we have anything for St. Patrick's Day. And it doesn't look like we do for St. Patrick's Day in the photo drop. Just try one more time. No, so it doesn't have any for the photo drop cards. I can type in inspire, and there are some that for inspiring. So, but today we decided we were going to look at St. Patrick's Day cards. The next type is build your own. With build your own, it's asking you, do you want a vertical or a horizontal orientation? I usually choose vertical orientation for a couple of reasons. Vertical cards stand up better on the bookshelf, and people often keep their cards forever. So not only forever, but keep them on display for a while, so they stand up better. The other thing I like about the vertical orientation, if I have a picture of a house or a picture that's landscape, I can then go in and add that to the inside of the card, and that fits very nicely. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to choose customize. Notice this says $1.75. I'm just going to cancel. Don't worry about that price. All heartfelt cards are free, and that will be updated at the checkout. And customize, again, flat panel, 2-panel, 3-panel, really big 8x10 for $1.50 extra. Postcards, standard satin pearl finish. I'm going to go with the 2-panel card and standard. Now this is just completely custom, or build your own. So it says, okay, add a photo here. And I went ahead and added some photos. I can zoom in a bit. Again, we're going with the St. Patrick's Day theme. And I can go here and decide well, I might want to do a square picture. These days, a lot of people are taking pictures that are square for Instagram. So very often I'll have a picture that I want to add, and it's square, it's not portrait style. That works really well because I can put my message down at the bottom and something else up at the top. So I'm going to choose a picture up at the top, and I'm going to choose something like this. Yes, okay, I just wanted to remind myself. Okay. So what I sometimes like to do is, the white background is fine, but I sometimes like to change the color of the background. And to do that, all I have to do is click on the edge and go to background. And I have choice of colors. Now, there is something called hex code. Hex stands for hexadecimal, which is a computer term. Every color under the rainbow has a hex code. And so what I did earlier is I Googled the hex code for Irish green. And if I put it here where it says number sign, it looks like a hashtag. And the number is 009A49 for that green. And then that's the color of the Irish flag, apparently. And I can go over on the other side, click background, and just copy and paste that in there. So that just adds a little bit of professional design to my card. I can change the script color to white, so it's going to show up. And I can say something like, "We are all Irish on March 17th." Something a little bit fun. One of the fun fonts that I like is called Font Diner Swanky, and I can make that a little bit bigger, and so forth. Then on the other side, again, I have a choice between photographs or text. I'm going to go with text. Type in March 17th, 2019. I always encourage people to date their cards because, as I said, people often keep cards, sometimes for a really long time. And that way, if you go to their house and you see your card on the fridge or the bookshelf, you'll know, oh, that's way back in 2019 that I sent them that card. It sounds funny when we say that now, but and I'm just going to go back to remind myself what it was I wanted to say. May the luck of the Irish follow you today and always. So I can type that in, the luck of the Irish follow you today and always. Apparently that's an Irish blessing. Again, I can center that if I want to center that and make that a little bit bigger, and so forth. And then I can type in something like all the best, comma, Chip. And again, I like to make my signature this envelope hand. I can upload my own handwriting as a font and my own signature. I fell, it was last year or the year before, I think it was 2 years ago, fell on the ice in March and broke my finger, and my handwriting suffered. So I have put off doing my handwriting font and signature, but I think it's time to go through and do that. So there's my Heartfelt card that I wanted to use. And if I go to the back, this is messed up, the alignment on the back. I can go and choose one of the other backs that I've created. It should be there. Often when you create a new back, it's at the bottom. These are all card backs that I use. Some of them are duplicates, I can see. It's not there, so I'm just going to create a new one and go over here, choose that, save layout, should save the back, and then save and send. Again, I'm going to get the choice to add brownies or cookies, send it immediately. Now it says 99 cents. Now when I started, it said $1.75. The reason for that is that I have bought the Elite Plus package, which allows me to pre-purchase scheduled and group send cards, or actually they're scheduled cards, not group sends. Scheduled cards for 99 cents. So the Elite Plus package is $9.95, buys me 1,000 scheduled cards. So I'm paying 99 cents each, and that's where it comes up with the 99 cents. So it says, you know, even if I schedule it, the most I'll pay is 99 cents. And if I send it immediately, it'll be even cheaper. I can go and add my recipients and send it to my friend Leslie and say done. As soon as it comes back ready to send, it's a free card, 99 cents is crossed out, free card, free shipping. It's a Heartfelt card. Now, I noticed the card back was a little bit goofy. What I can also do is I can go in and I can check my card history and any pending cards that are ready to go. And I can look at the back and make sure that it's not messed up. And I can make some changes. So I can go into pending. Here is the card that I just did for Leslie. If I decide I made a typo, and in the beginning I always check here to make sure. If I made a typo, I can edit the card before it prints and fix it. So let me check one of the others that went recently. So these look okay. The alignment was messed up on that one. I don't know what happened there. So these are all pending cards, and if it says fulfilled, that means it's already been printed and it's gone. So here's a card that I did, another Heartfelt card. Found out friends of mine are having a baby, so I took a picture of the two of them. Congratulations. It's a boy, it's a girl. Congrats on your baby news, wishing you every blessing possible. And there's my card back. And this one, it looks like it was a little bit messed up in terms of the back. I'll have to fix that. So that gives you an idea for Heartfelt cards. You can also, so Heartfelt cards are cards that you are creating or choosing from the catalog for a particular person. You're typing the message, you're not cutting and pasting, and you're sending it immediately. And that defines what send out cards consider a Heartfelt card. I call them single send cards because you've sent it once, and the next time you send the card, it will be considered a group send, and it will charge you for that card because group sends are charged at the standard rate. And if you're on a free account, the standard rate is $2.75 plus $1 for photos. If you're on a $17 account, the standard is $2.25. The 97 and 147, the standard is $1.75. And if it's scheduled and you have one of the scheduled packages, you're going to pay 99 cents if you're on the Elite Plus. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I was going to cover tonight in terms of Heartfelt cards. Yeah, so if I do anything else that's scheduled, they're going to go at a more expensive. They're going to go at the standard rate. I'm going to open it up for questions and find out if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about or cover before we close. Leslie, do you have any questions?
I do. Can you show me again how to change the back
Oh, okay.
of the cards?
I've actually done a video on YouTube.
Okay.
There are 3 videos. I'll show you. There are 3 videos, and my YouTube site is the same as this Facebook group. It's called It's Never Just a Card. So if you go to YouTube and you search, go to Google and search YouTube, It's Never Just a Card, you'll find it. But in order to create a back, you have to be inside a card first. So I'm just going to click on Build Your Own, and I'm going to go all the way to the end. And I notice my default card is kind of messed up the alignment. I don't know what happened there. So I'm going to have to fix that. If I want to change this card back, I can click on the card back and I can go to Layouts over on the left. And when I'm there, it says, okay, you can create a new one or you can choose an existing one. So if I choose an existing one, it's going to show me everything that it knows about. Now, for some reason, that latest one that I just created wasn't showing up. I'm not quite sure why. And right now, this is my default. So I'm going to change this one to default. And notice the alignment is kind of messed up there as well. So I'm going to do this. And if I click Save Layout, it should save that card back as is. And if I go back to Layouts and go here, so that's my default. I can also get rid of this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the default. And the alignment's not good there either. For some reason, I don't know what, I'm going to have to report this. I think it was always fine before. Something has happened to it. I'm not quite sure why. Again, I'm going to save that layout just to make sure. Normally it would save, and I'm going to go into my layouts, and I'm going to get rid of the other one that's not lined up properly anyway. So I'm going to click on that, delete the layout, and so forth. And I have a few duplicates because I often do demos and show people how to create the card back. So let me see. And the one that says default is the one that will automatically go on, and it's not cooperating tonight. I'm not quite sure. That might be something I might have to report. So that's there. Let me just get a little bit more. And it should, if I click on Save Layout, it should save it as is. And then if I have that one marked as default, every new card that I create should use that card back. And see, it says default right here. So I'm going to, but it's also a little bit messed up, so I'm not quite sure why. I'm going to have to look into that. And so that's it. So that's all you need to do. And I know it's a lot of steps. You know, click on the back, go to Layouts, then go to choose existing or create new. Now, if you're going to create a new one, you have a couple choices. I tend to use something called Snagit. It's an external program that lets me put text on top of a picture. In this case, I've got a picture on top of a picture. You can also create a new one within Send Out Cards, and you're going to choose their layouts that they are using. Excuse me. So I might have something like this one here, and I usually say something like call or text anytime. And then I put my phone number, 463-6369, and then I can add my banner somewhere here. If I can't find it, I'll just reload it. I didn't think it was that long ago. I thought I just added it recently. Okay, so what I can do is upload photo and then go, oops, to, is it good? Blue. And
at one point, was there a fellow who designed the back for you?
Yes, I use a guy named Jeremy Parker. Okay. He's in Texas. And he does some of mine as well. And there. So I can save this layout for the back if I want to. I can also change the background color if I want to. And I can go into color I really like is B5D3E7, kind of my signature color. And again, I can change the text to something that's a little bit friendlier, and go something like that. And then I can save that layout as well. So that's the choices that you have. So I tend to create it outside of Send Out Cards, and then upload it as a full page, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the the heartfelt card sentiment tonight that you started with, because a good friend of mine did just lose her dad last week, and they're Italian. So I love that idea. I'm going to borrow that.
Yes, you're very welcome. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm finding myself sending more and more sympathy cards these days. Maybe it's a function of age, you know, that I look back and I think, wow, you know, in a given year, it seems like I'm sending a lot. So did you have any other questions that we can talk about tonight?
No, I love the idea of doing heartfelt cards, and I was thinking I would try to time block those on, say, Monday morning to see whose birthdays are coming up or special occasions, and try to just do them quickly and get them out the door.
Yeah, and, you know, once you get a little bit of practice going, it really takes me less than a minute to do a card. So once I have the idea, I think, oh, okay, I'm going to do a St. Patrick's Day card. Do I have a graphic to use? It might take me a little bit of time to find something that I want to use, but the actual making of the card, a minute, 2 minutes. So even if you blocked off 30 minutes a day and said, I'm going to do 3 or 4 cards, that should be doable.
Okay.
And then as you get more cards, the reason I chose the scheduled card, and I'll probably talk about that either next time or the time after, is I looked and I thought, you know, I did like 1,100 scheduled cards last year. So that's too many to do as heartfelt. You know, there's not bandwidth. So I decided to go ahead and buy the Elite Plus 1,000 cards. And I bought that in October, and here we are, February, so November, December, January, 4 months later, I have less than 150 cards left. So, you know, I've used them, you know, so Christmas, New Year's, because even things that we think of as group sends, if you schedule them even one day out, they're no longer a group send, they're a scheduled card. So instead of paying $1.75 for a group send, I'm going to pay 99 cents for a scheduled card. So it's cheaper. And I thought, you know what, I was paying $1.75 for those 1,100 cards. Why wouldn't I pay 99 cents? It's just kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
So hopefully that makes sense. I'm just going to cancel this card. So when you go into the pricing and you look and see, well, they've arranged the pricing so this premium package really highlights those heartfelt cards. And just to reiterate, that $97 includes unlimited heartfelt cards, including postage. If you send a scheduled card or a group send, it's going to be $1.75. You're going to get 30% discount on gifts like brownies or cookies. And you're also going to get 10 free group sends and the loyalty rewards. So they're worth $1.75 each, so that 10, you can subtract $17.50 from this $97. And when you also subtract postage, it becomes a pretty good deal. And then for the enterprise level, they're going to give you 100 free group sends every month. So when we talk about group sends, I'll talk a little bit more about that. That's the deal for the group sends. And then the Elite Plus, Elite and Elite Plus packages, 500 scheduled cards for $6.25, or 1,000 for $9.95. And again, I'll talk about this in a subsequent session, but what you not only get the cheaper price on the scheduled cards, you're going to get unlimited access to the campaign store. And since most campaigns are either $135 for 5 cards or $85 for 3 cards, you're free. They're not paying anything. So if you did 5 of them at $135, that adds up, and that brings the price down dramatically. You also get access free Essentials Pack, which are those designer cards, first impressions cards, and you get free personal handwriting font and signatures. So, you know, it's a pretty good deal. And next time when we talk about the enterprise group sends, and the enterprise package gives you 100 free group sends every month. I use those for farming. If you buy the Elite Plus package, you're going to get a bonus, either of the Elite scheduled packages. If you're on the enterprise level package and you run out of cards before 12 months is up, they'll let you send those cards for either 99 cents or $1.25 for the full 12 months. So I only have 148 left since October. I know I'm going to use those up before October. I don't have to buy another package. I can just continue sending for 99 cents. That's a pretty good deal. So we'll talk about that in a subsequent session.
Okay.
Um,
Well, this was very helpful. I appreciate that.
I'm glad. Do you feel a little bit more comfortable with the new system, seeing it in action?
Yes, I think it's very intuitive and it's
Good.
not complicated. So
Okay,
I just need to put it in action.
that's
But yeah, I, I,
perfect.
I really believe in the system, and I definitely love watching what you and Gail have done. And I know I can be successful with it as well. I just need to do it.
That's right.
Nothing's going
That's
to
right.
happen if I don't do it.
We all on that same boat. So I'm going to uh, end the recording and just say, it's going to be uploaded to It's Never Just a Card, and hopefully this will be helpful. And